Alright, so we're looking at the Morris Minor 1000 and doing some electrical work today. So what I've done, when this car originally came out, it didn't have any indicators. It had what's called trafficators, which are these flippy little alarms here which flip out, and they've got a orange light inside them. They don't flicker or anything like that, they stay on. But unfortunately, you know, given the shape of the car, if you're behind the car, they can quickly become quite hard to see. So they're not very practical, and in 1961 they were deleted from the Morris Minor and replaced with regular indicators, but this is a 1960, so it didn't come with any regular indicators, which was perfectly legal at the time, and it is now still. But just for my own peace of mind, you know, someone at some point has fitted these motorbike indicators here on all four corners originally. I've got them here still, but on the front, you know, I'm trying to make this look more stock, so I've removed these indicators and moved the indicators up into these lamps here, which were originally what we call parking lamps in Australia, or side lights they call them in the UK. I've done one, so the indicators have already been moved down, and I've done one so far. So these are semi-sealed beams. So originally these came with 7-inch sealed beams, which is, if you don't know what they are, they're kind of like spotlight. The whole thing, this whole glass envelope here, is a sealed unit with the filament permanently inside, and if they blow, you replace the whole glass bit, which is a bit impractical. So what I've done is I bought these semi-sealed units. I've got one over here, and so yeah, you can see it's got the H4 bulb, which just pushes in the back there, and then uses the same connector that the sealed beam used to use. Also, these ones here have provision for a side light as well, which is what I'm using. This unit here, that just pushes in there, and you just crimp some contacts on, and it's still got the you probably won't be able to see it down there. So the most of this car, the original electricity of the original wiring, uses bullet connectors, which was the style of the time, like these. Most auto wiring now uses spade connectors, like those there, you know the ones like that. So yeah, just going to make a wire that goes from the positive terminal on the side light into the female bullet connector down in there. That's easy enough. And the negative connector, basically what I'll do is I'll just create a short lead which jumps from there into the negative lead of the H4, which is this one here, and I just put a male spade on there, and I just jam it in there with the when the regular bulbs put in, and that seems to work quite well. It's just a good grounding point. It doesn't really matter where the negative lead goes as long as it touches the chassis somewhere, and that seems to be a fairly good solution. So I'll knock that up now, and I'll turn it back on when we're done. Alright, so we've got this one here, and over here we run the positive lead out, and just got it earthed against, you know, the chrome strip there. So if I take that off there, it doesn't really matter where the earth point is. The whole car's, you know, it all travels back to the negative terminal of the battery. Also, originally these cars were positive earth, which means that all the wiring carried the negative charge, and the positive side of the battery was connected to the car. Stopped you from, it wasn't really a problem with that, and it seemed to work alright. Some people felt that it made the car rust more because there was a charge in the metal at all times, but that's, I'm not sure what kind of science there is behind that. But it stops you from using a lot of accessories and stuff like that if you want to, because everything since, you know, the 60s or whatever has been made for negative earth, in the same way that you might have trouble finding accessories for 6-volt cars and that kind of thing. So we've done that now. I'm just going to make the little lead that jumps from the negative terminal into the ground terminal of the H4 plug. And I'll show you that when I'm done. And here's the jumper here, so it just goes from the grounding lug there into the grounding lug. And that's where the lamp plugs in. But they fit alright together. I'll put it all together and show you. It's here, the whole lot together. So you got the side lamp there, and the earth going into the earth lug there. And it works good. They seem to play happy, those two spades in there, so there's no reason that shouldn't be a problem. So I'll put it all back together and see what we got. Okay, so this is where we're at now. We've got our side lamp in here, and we've got the indicator that's been moved up from what was originally one of these guys, drilled into here. Now been moved up into the side lamp enclosure. Could be a bit more orange. I might get some orange dipped BA9S bulbs, and the side lamp up here. So it still looks original, but it's much more fit for purpose, I think. Cheers. So if you've been following these, well, if you watch my other videos, just wanted to show you that I've actually removed all the window tinting off the car, and that was an absolute pig of a job. But the glass is now actually see-through rather than being scratched purple colour. Much better. But yeah, getting the adhesive off was not fun. So the seats as well, since I posted some other videos, have been changed out. These are seats from a original Morris Minor, I believe. So 1949 to 52 sort of thing. They got this like sort of bucket back here, which is more comfortable than the seats that would have originally come with this car anyway. But the ones I took out were seats from a first generation Honda Civic. Bit sporty, but just didn't fit in with the car. Also the other day while I was taking the tint off, I removed the door card from this side over here, and the Masonite is just trashed. It's just completely ruined. So that's no problem. You can get some of that from the hardware store, it's very cheap. And the vinyl's in pretty good nick, so that'll clean up alright. I'll just staple it back on, or glue it. Apparently these staples, these shallow upholstery staples, are quite hard to find, so yeah, fair enough. But yeah, still deciding what I'm going to do with these ones here. I think these are okay. They kind of look period, and they are more visible anyway. But what I might do, so there's actually two indicator switches here. This is the original indicator switch for the Trafficators, and there originally was like a black plastic thing here with a bulb on the end and like a green lens, and it flashed green to let you know that they were working. I think it may have just been steady on this one. Then the year after this one, they got regular indicators, because these lights here, they changed these to kind of like, they look like a Volkswagen Beetle. So they had the thing here, and then they had an orange segment on top, and on the front they did a similar sort of thing. This became like quite a large like plastic lens with a side lamp and then an indicator. I kind of like these ones a little bit nicer. They look a little bit cooler in my opinion. So yeah, someone's added this Heller indicator setup here. Yeah, a bit janky, but what do you do? Alright, so here's the Trafficator. I'll pop the ignition on and put it towards myself. And there it is. So it's a little festoon lamp in here, up and down. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get in there, but there's a solenoid in there. Yeah, it works quite well. But as you can see, the further you get back behind the car, yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. And then, if I was turning, it sort of fades out pretty quick, so not ideal these days. But a pretty novel idea when they first started using them, I think in the 20s, and by 1960 they said that's enough. So yeah, let's put the side lights on. Thanks for joining.